Hello students! I wanted to go ahead and come on and show you how to make a really fun project, which is this cute little silly monster who's actually not that silly because he's very hungry. Chomp, chomp, chomp. He has one of my favorite foods in his mouth, which is a little cupcake. So this is a really fun project for all ages. My 4-year-old actually made one as well. He hasn't finished coloring it, but here's his cute little monster who has ice cream, cookie, and pizza in his mouth. And you can also adapt this to anything you like. If you don't want it to be a monster, you can also turn it into a cute little animal. I've also made one with little cat ears. You could turn it into a little kitty cat or a dog or a bear or anything that you're into. I actually had a couple of students in a class earlier today that turned theirs into a unicorn instead of a monster. So it's really up to you, wherever your creativity takes you. All right, let's get started. All right, so to get started making our monster, we're gonna need a piece of paper, preferably white paper, like from your printer, but if only you have as binder paper, that will work too. A marker, a pencil, and whatever you have to add color, whether it's colored pencils or crayons, maybe markers. You wanna go ahead and get all of that ready. And then the last thing you're gonna need is a small bowl or something that you can trace a nice circle with on your paper. So a bowl works really good. I had leftover Tupperware from like cream cheese. And then I had a bucket of cashews. I took off the lid. That would also work well. And then a student earlier today gave me the best idea, which was an old CD. So if you have any CDs laying around or DVDs from movies, that will work really well. Just be careful when you trace it to put it back in its case. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear off my space. I'm gonna take my piece of paper and it's gonna be positioned vertical, so long side up. And I'm gonna go ahead and act like I'm gonna fold it in half. So I'm gonna take the two bottom corners towards the top, but I'm not gonna go all the way to the top. I'm gonna come down just a little bit, about the width of your thumb. So here's my thumb right here, maybe a little bit bigger since you have little thumbs. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the table to make a nice crease, fold. Okay, and I have this space at the top, like this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flip it down. So now my space is at the bottom. Flip it over, and now I'm gonna fold towards the top, again, with a little bit of space, like the size of your thumb. You might have to peek around the back so you can see how much space is there, and then make sure, again, that you give it a nice fold, like that, okay? If that seemed confusing to you, go ahead and rewind, watch it again. This is the hardest part of the whole project. Once you have your fold completed, you want it to be able to open and close like this, right? So you have a big space at the bottom. If you flip it over, you have that little space on the back, and that you can grab it from the top and open and close it. So back to my blank paper. So it should be positioned like this. I'm gonna go ahead and take whatever circle type object I chose to trace and put it kind of in the middle of the paper and use a marker or a pencil. I always suggest starting with pencil, that way you can erase anything that you're not happy with. I'm gonna be using marker just so you can see it better on the camera. I'm gonna go ahead and take my bowl off, and now I have a nice big circle right in the middle. I'm gonna unfold it, and then you wanna connect your two half circles with a straight line. So I'm gonna connect from here to here. You can just hand draw it, but if you have a ruler, that is really awesome because then you get a nice straight line. So I'm gonna go down from this corner to this corner of my half circle. And then I'm gonna trace right on the fold at the top, because this is gonna be the top of where my teeth are gonna go. And then to make it easier for that bottom line, because you can't see anything there, go ahead and close it again. And then carefully use that fold to trace a line for the bottom of the teeth. Ta-da! So now we have a nice, big, beautiful space in the middle. It's It's kind of a square, maybe it's a rectangle for you, depending on how much space you have there. And then we want to go ahead and decide, what is our monster eating? Pick your favorite food, your favorite junk food, or maybe you're making it for someone. Pick their favorite food. So I did a cupcake for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the cupcake. So I'm going to draw in marker. You would want to draw in pencil first. I'm going to go right smack in the middle, and I'm going to start with 2 diagonal lines, and they're diagonal in opposite directions, and then I'm going to connect them at the bottom, connect them at the top with a semi-curved line, and then if you want to do those little lines like it's as if it's has a cupcake holder, then you would just kind of follow those same angles. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Everybody is a little bit different in the way they draw. And then you can do whatever topping that you want. It could just be round, like a nice curved line for the top. Maybe it's a muffin, then it would just be one curved line. But if you want it to look like it has frosting, then you would kind of want to make this rounded sort of worm shape to start. It's a curved line, and then one a little bit smaller on the top. I think they kind of look like little fat worms, just to describe. And then however you want to finish the top. This one has kind of like a little pointy curved line. You could put a cherry or a chocolate kiss or anything that you want, and then you're gonna decorate this later. Once you get your food drawn, then I'm gonna go ahead and add in the teeth. The teeth are gonna come down from this line for the top teeth, and they're gonna come up from this bottom line for the bottom teeth. So I'm just gonna do 2 big teeth on this one. You can do as many as you want. On this one I did earlier, I did lots of teeth. Okay, and then I'm coming up from the bottom. Lots of teeth would be fun. Maybe you want to do flat teeth. They don't have to be pointy, just like that. And then if you want to add in a tongue, you don't have to, but if you want to, I kind of think that the tongue looks like a little bit of a mountaintop, like a double mountaintop. So you'd start from the corner here, and draw a curved line, and make sure it meets and touches whatever food is inside the mouth. And then the other side would come either from this bottom corner or a little bit higher, and it would go up to another curved line like another mountaintop and go just slightly past it. So let's do it on this one. I'm gonna come from the corner, meet my cupcake and curve down. Then I'm gonna come over here, meet my cupcake, and then curve just a little bit past. And notice how mine's a little bit bumpy. That's because of the table that I'm drawing on, but that's okay. All right, so now I have the inside of my mouth. I highly recommend coloring the inside of the mouth behind the cupcake, behind the teeth, a very dark color. So this one is black colored pencil. You could use gray, a very dark red, a very dark purple. Look at yourself in the mirror and open your mouth big and wide. It's nice and dark in there. We want it to feel like there's depth, like it's going back into the inside of the monster's throat. So choose a dark color for back here. So now we're gonna work on the rest of our monster, or maybe you're turning it into a cat or another animal. So you have to make a creative decision. How do you want your monster to look? Do you want it to have crazy, wacky hair? A mohawk maybe? Long curly hair, braids, pigtails? Maybe you want it to have horns. Maybe you want it to be wearing a crown. So that's gonna be your decision what you want to do. I've been doing hair mostly, so I think today I'm gonna do some horns onto the side. Just 2 little curved lines. Maybe you're gonna do a unicorn, so you would do a little unicorn horn, maybe in the middle or off to the side as well. And then does it have a body? This one has kind of like a slimy body, right? Or maybe you wanted to have arms and legs. This one that I did earlier has some really long arms and a little body. I think I'm gonna do the kind of slimy one again, because I think that's a lot of fun. Maybe you want it to have octopus tentacles. I mean, the possibilities are really endless. Whatever you wanna do. Okay, and last but not least, we need to draw some eyeballs. And so if you wanna do some colored eyes like this, you have to look closely and see how many circles that I have for the eyes. I have 1, 2, 3 circles, and then I also have a little white spot for a highlight. Now, if you don't feel super comfortable in drawing a really nice circle, find something to trace. right? I have this little tea holder that I had lying around. Oh, that looks kind of cool, right? Kind of robotic. So I could trace this, or you could just hand draw it. It's really up to you. How many eyes do you have to include? That's up to you also. Do you want to have 2 eyes, 5 eyes, 1 eye? I think maybe for this monster, I'm gonna do 1 eye because I haven't done that yet, and that is gonna be fun. I'm still gonna do the color though. So I've got 1 big eye, then I have the circle in the middle for the color, and then another one for the pupil. And then I'm gonna leave a little bit of highlight, and I don't wanna forget that, so I'm gonna go ahead and color this in black right away, because sometimes I'll forget to do my highlight. Maybe your monster has eyebrows, maybe they have eyelashes. I think that'd be kind of funny to have 1 eyebrow, right? It's kind of like a unibrow if it's just 1, right? And then how should I decorate the outside of its skin? I did polka dots on this one. You could do sort of scaly like a snake or a dinosaur or a lizard. You could do stripes. I had a student today that wanted to do stripes and then make a rainbow skin. That would be really cool. Maybe we could add some other things into the background, right? So my monster ate a cupcake. So maybe there's some cupcakes just sitting around over here waiting to be eaten by this silly monster. Maybe there's another monster. Maybe there's a little baby monster sitting over here hanging out. You could add whatever you want into the background. The big eye. Or just add color in the background. Add a big rainbow. A lot of my kindergartners were like, I want to make rainbows. So that would be really awesome. So the last thing you have to do once you get it all laid out is just to add the color. So what colors are you going to choose? What color is your monster going to be? I'm going to let you decide on that. I don't want to put anything in your mind to where you feel like you have to make a purple or an orange monster. I want you to be creative here and add whatever colors that you'd like. Well, I hope you liked this video. I hope you thought this project was fun. Send me photos or send your teacher photos. I'd love to see your finished monsters, and I can't wait to see you guys again soon.